Hello everyone, MP Hater here, and welcome back to my beginner's guide for Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. This is part 13. So in the last episode, we ended up reaching Mibu Village. We also ended up finishing off the Sunken Valley area, and we got to fight the Headless Ape, as well as its mate. So that's the second Guardian Ape fight. And then we also ended up killing the Mist Noble in the forest before we came here. So the last thing I did was to come over to the Memorial Mob and grab the Dragon Spring Sake, which we're actually going to end up drinking with our friend the Sculptor probably by the end of this episode, because we're going to be able to obtain all three of the types of sake that you can drink with him. Beyond that, I'd probably get the mottled purple gourd at some point, as well as the treasure carp scales, though we're in no huge hurry for those. It'll be a while before we decide to take on any of the terror enemies like the Headless, let alone the other Shishiman warrior. Or warriors, I should say. Otherwise, though, we're going to go ahead and progress into Mibu Village. Now, this area has enemies that basically just keep respawning, so this is a fairly good place to go in and do some farming, though I'm not going to be doing farming here. There's a better place we can do later that's faster in the Fountainhead Palace. So for now, just go ahead and run through it. We're going to collect the items. So behind this little shack here is a Mibu Balloon of Soul. We're going to come over here. Inside this little boat is a Mibu Balloon of Wealth. Then we're going to climb up here. Talk to this guy. This guy thinks he's a basket. A literal basket. So go ahead and talk to him, go through his dialogue. We'll actually be progressing his story here in a little bit. So we're going to climb up here, and then we're going to come over to this other house. Opposite side. Oops. I did not mean to do that. There we go. So in this other house, and then there is a fistful of ash over here. So back behind here is a pacifying agent. And then we're just going to go ahead and run. Over here is some upgrade materials. Over here is another Mibu Balloon of Soul. And a gourd seed, which we'll take to Emma here in a bit. Drop down here and we're going to run. Grab the pellet on the way. Then we're going to grapple up here. Here's another Ashina Saki. And then we're going to kill this guy. Now be careful, if you kill this guy right here as well, it'll cause 4 Nightjar enemies to spawn here. And they are of the spirit variety, so they're harder to deal with. So I don't recommend killing all of these enemies. Just grab that item, and we're going to go ahead and climb up here. Grab the adamantite scrap, more upgrade materials, and then we're going to make this jump. So inside here, we have a yellow gunpowder and a divine confetti. Get a death blow out of him. Death blow out of him. Down here is another Mibu Balloon of Soul, then we're going to head back up. And we're going to climb up here. And over here is a pellet. So across the bridge, we're going to go ahead and grab an idol. And now's a good time for us to go ahead and grab Sculptor's Karma. That's going to give us another slot for Spirit Emblems. And then we're going to head down this way. Kill some of these. Drop down here. Behind this hut is a boat. This has a pellet in it too. These fish that are in here, by the way, these are not of the carp variety that actually drop good stuff for us, so kill them, ignore them, up to you. Then we're going to grapple over here. I'm going to climb on top of this house, and basically what we want to do is make a beeline for the items. There was one right there, two over there, and then we're going to grapple up to that tree limb and kind of come around the side here. And then up here you can kind of see the item up there. So we're going to go get that, and then we're going to head back to the hut over there. So let's go ahead and do that. This area is going to have a whole lot of enemies in it, so be careful. Now once you grab this item, the Pine Resin Ember, this will trigger the guy that was in the hut to progress his storyline. So we're going to go back to him here in a moment. For now though, we're going to climb up here. Wall jump there. Grab a Amiibo balloon of soul, and then we're going to head towards this hut.
I couldn't resist. I drank it all.
So unfortunately, he did apparently not resist. I'm a monster. You tried to attack me, bro. Anyway, he's done. Climb out of here. And then we're going to go ahead and make a run for the idol. Okay, so now we're about to be up against Orin of the Water, who is a mini-boss. A fairly hard mini-boss. I'm going to go ahead and show you first the cheese way to deal with her. So hit her with a single attack, and then let her follow you. We are heading back.
You hide Lord Sakusa from me.
Come on. So have her follow you. We want to get her basically right here. And you'll notice that she tries to step back very slowly. And that's because her AI is trying to return her to her normal place. But what we can do is we can get her in this little cubby hole right here and just keep attacking her. So again, her AI will not know how to fix this situation because, again, her AI tells her to keep trying to go back to her original spot. So it's interrupting her ability to defend herself. And again, until her AI gets a certain of the way, part of the way back there, it won't return to its normal scheduled program. So Anyway, we can go ahead and do that as a way to cheese it if you have trouble with this particular mini boss. Otherwise, though, I'm going to go ahead and show you the way that I usually do this. Okay, so she has basically the ability to go invisible, or I guess ethereal, I guess you can say. This is not, however, an ethereal enemy per se, so unlike, for example... Unlike the illusions, for example, that were used by Lady Butterfly, or the monk, the corrupted monk we're about to face, this enemy is not actually an illusion enemy or an apparition enemy, so snap seeds do not work on this particular mini-boss. What does work, though, is Divine Confetti, so we are actually going to equip Akko's Sugar as well as Divine Confetti. Now, we don't have a whole lot of these, though we will be able to get a lot more of them a little later. So I would say try to face this boss without doing this, because you don't explicitly need these after you do the other step that we're going to be doing. But this will make the fight much, much quicker by using these two items, but they're not absolutely required for this next part. What is going to be required, though, is going to be the Sabumaru, so make sure you've got that. So, she will become invisible occasionally, but we basically want to try to get in as many hits real quick as we can so we can poison her. Because if we can poison her, that will ensure that her posture meter is going to stay pretty much static. She's going to be very quick, so... I'm not really going to recommend any arts or any ninjutsu in specific against this boss, but if you do have the vault over ability, you could vault over and do the bestowal ninjutsu potentially on this boss to gain an upper hand. She tends to block pretty much all of your attacks, so I don't generally recommend worrying about the immortal draw, but if you want to try to use that to that effect as well, you can do that too. Otherwise, she basically has just a few different combos that she will do. She also does a swiping attack, horizontal swiping attack that you can pounce on her head for, and that'll do a lot of posture damage to her. She also does this kind of wind-up attack, and if you can dodge out of the way from her, you can basically do a counter attack against her using step dodge. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and pop Akko's Sugar, Divine Confetti, and then I'm going to hit her with Sabumaru over and over and over until she becomes... There we go.
Dare you hide Lord Sakusa from me?
That. And I did not attack her quick enough for that, but... And that's her first death blow. I'm going to rinse, repeat the same thing with Sabumaru to try to get her poisoned again. Again, quite effective against this. She's more or less the same fight now, but she does have a grab attack now, so be careful with that. Again, step dodge for that. Man. There we go. Anyway, that is how to beat her kind of the normal way. And then you're going to get Breath of Life Shadow. This is going to give you the ability to regain your vitality. Basically kind of a boost to that. Regaining vitality whenever you do a death blow. So before we go across the bridge, head off to the right here. Grab a lump of fat wax, and then down here is Divine Grass. So getting back up here can be kind of a pain. You can kind of do a wall jump in order to accomplish this. Sometimes I'm not able to get it though, so... yeah. Kind of inconsistent. Anyway, go ahead and grab the idol again. We're going to rest because we're actually about to face the real boss of this place. And this is going to be the corrupted monk. So we'll talk about strategy for that one once we get to him. So as usual with these enemies, try to get him to do a stab attack. And then respond, at least better than me. So we're gonna run around here. I like to get this guy in the back. He's the hardest of these guys to kill. And then there's an eavesdrop opportunity here. Kind of creepy. We're going to crawl underneath here. Use this rotating door. And then inside here we have divine confetti. A red lump. We got an NPC, we can go ahead and greet him. A little weird. He apparently wants to be a servant. Come out here, make a left. Grab an upgrade material. Then we're going to come over here. Grab a light coin purse. And then we're going to make our way to the boss. So back out here, we're going to take this path. So, there are a couple of different ways to beat this boss. Normally, this boss is going to be very heavy on deflections. He does lots of attacks where he will spin, and you'll basically have to kind of time each spin as he tries to hit you. So we can deal with that. He also does a jumping attack where he will do a downward pound. One of his combo attacks, one of the ones that's not a spinning attack, will actually end in a thrusting attack. So you'll actually see kind of, I think, three different attacks first, and then he'll do a thrusting attack, but he only does the thrusting attack if you deflect the other attacks. So that is also an option too. Otherwise, the other ways that we can deal with this, we can utilize divine confetti to speed up the process, of course. Another thing that we can do is use snap seeds. This enemy is an apparition type, but he's also an illusion of an apparition type, so you can actually use snap seeds to stun this enemy for quite a long time. And then we can also use, of course, firecrackers to do it too. So there is kind of an easy strategy for this particular fight that I'm going to try to employ, at least to get him down to as low a health as I can get him. And that's actually going to be involving one of the attacks that we can bait out of him. So if we're fairly far away from him, he will end up kind of doing a running jump attack. So He'll jump and into the air and then do a straight down attack. And if we can basically get underneath him and behind him, we can get in 2 hits. And then we can drop a firecracker, 2 more hits, a firecracker, 2 more hits, a firecracker, and rinse and repeat until we are out of firecrackers. And that will generally be enough to get him very close to being finished off. I'm going to go ahead and use the ceremonial Tanto to give myself 5 extra. And then while I'm at the bottom of this, I'm going to use Divine Confetti, run, and we're going to hit him 4 times. 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to back off. So there's one of those types of attacks that he likes to do. That's the attack that we want to bait, but I did not do very well with that. That's another one that we can bait, though he usually does it separate. There it is. So, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and sometimes he'll be able to get out of it. So there it is. 1, 2, drop him. 1, 2, drop him. 1, 2, drop him. 1, 2. So sometimes he'll get lucky. And now we'll go ahead and switch, since we're out, to Snap Seeds. And he's dead. Alright, so we're going to get the Memory of the Corrupted Monk and the Mibu Breathing Technique. So, before we go in there, if there is anything that you want to do at the Ashina Castle, you're probably going to want to do it now. That's because in order to really get back into Ashina Castle, talk to Kuro, talk to Emma, we are actually going to need to complete a difficult boss fight. So that's going to happen if you go in here and you get the item that's at the end here. So I'm going to go ahead and rest at the idol for a moment. And if there's anything you want to go to, we can do it now. In my case, though, I think I'm good with going. So let's go in. And once you grab this item, it will change some of the things of the world. So pick it up. You can also read. Talks about the palanquin that awaits. We want to make sure that we read that. And you'll see that we have another one of these. So this will be key to getting into Fountainhead Palace a little bit later. And now that we have obtained that, If we try to travel back to Ashina Castle, you'll notice that we no longer have the ability to travel anywhere except for the abandoned dungeon entrance. So, we're going to tackle that in the next episode. Be aware that we did get the Mibu breathing technique ability. We can now dive into the water, and that's going to be integral for some of the areas that we're going to be going to, as well as some of the side content that we're going to be exploring too. But in the next episode, we're probably going to be tackling a major boss, so a lot more major than what we've had in a little while, probably since Genichiro anyway. I'm not going to reveal it until we get to that point, but basically it's going to be a pretty tough boss. So look forward to that in the next episode, though. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Later.